What is up, everyone? This is Omegabalmung here with another comic book pickups of the week. A lot of comic books to go through. I actually bought quite a few new comics and a lot of back issue stuff. Like I said, I was trying to tone down a few comic buying habits. I'll try to get a better habit at just picking a few books. We'll see how that happens, but. As of right now, I'm just buying, all these comics. I kind of wanted to start, just picking a few at a time. Maybe 2, 3 DC books, and then 2, 3 Marvel books, and then 2, 3 or independent books or Dark Horse and whatever. So, but like I said, I got a few things coming on. I'm actually getting ready for. Comic-Con or Wizard World Comic-Con in Minneapolis here. So if you're in the Minneapolis area, head out there and check out the Comic-Con. It's in the Minneapolis Convention Center. So and you can go to the website and check all that out if you're and see who's coming to the convention and stuff like that. So I'm pretty excited for it. I'm actually going to I am either going to buy myself a new camera or a camcorder or something to take myself, take it with me to go there, and maybe I'll use it for now on instead of using a webcam, because this is it's a little tough. I kind of want to do try to grab a whole bunch of like everybody does, like a comic walls, stuff like that, posters and stuff like that. And, instead of just looking back at all these trash, all these games, I could actually get them up on the wall there, which would look pretty much better, I should say. But anyways, let's get started with the new comic book pickups of the week. The first up is Teen Titans, the new Teen Titans, new 52 Teen Titans, I should say, issue 30, with a pretty awesome, we'll turn off this screen here, pretty awesome looking cover, I won't lie to you. That's the reason why I picked it up. But reading through the storyline, it was pretty cool. Had a lot of action. I really don't know what's going on because it's kind of picked up between maybe issue 28, 29. It follows probably those missions, but those stories. But just going in there reading, it looked pretty cool. I like the drawings and things like that. I just don't really want to give away too much stuff, but things happen. And with Raven and there's the Superboy, and who was the other person that's Kid Flash are away, and it's pretty cool. They fight a few cool characters and stuff like that. So but reading through it, I'm probably giving it about I want to say about 3 out of 5. I'm going with the 5 point system now, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 system, because I think 10 is a little too rough to go through, but I think the 5-point system is a lot better for me. Next up will be from IDW, Seven Sword issue 1. It looked cool. I mean, I won't lie to you. I think this was one of the variant covers. I think so, but. Given a quick, I didn't actually. I read through the whole book. I pretty much read through all these books except for maybe 2 of them that I got. So, fortunately, or one of them, but and it's a little later down. But this one, it's cool. I mean, it's cool to have these samurai kind of swords and stuff and fighting, and you're still confused of what's happening. Throughout the whole story here. I don't know if there's another story to it that I missed or something like that, but reading through it, I didn't really know what the heck was going on. But yeah, but it had some pretty cool action in there, with the samurai sword just chopping things apart. If I was to give it a grade, I'd probably give it a 2 out of 5. I kind of want to pick up the next one to see if they expand it a little bit more. Like I said, I've been a little lost in this book. I was kind of reading and I'm like, but the action was cool. Next up will be Witcher issue 2. I think this was issue 2. Yep, 2 out of 5 from Dark Horse, and of course The Witcher. You get some pretty cool, a little more, in detail of what's his name, Geralt, and he's using powers and stuff, and the guy that's with him is like what did you do there? And it's just pretty cool. They go through this like mansion, and they fight monsters and stuff like that. And you just see him casting electricity and fire, and you kind of just learn a little bit. And then you meet the person in the back here, the succubus. Right there, and then they just talk a lot, but anyways, it was pretty cool. I like the drawing, with the story stuff like that. I don't remember much from the first one because it's been maybe I want to say a month or so. It's been a while, maybe a month and a half since the first one came out. So, but reading through it, I'll probably want to say I give it about 3 out of 5. Next up will be Catwoman, issue 30. Race of Thieves starts here. So. In this one, Catwoman, in the beginning, Catwoman kind of, throws away all her getup, and she wants to live a normal life, and things happen, and now she's back again. A superhero can never get away from what they are, so she is back, and as you can see, the Race of Thieves, they kind of gather up all these thieves, and they kind of want to prove to each other that who's better in that. So and that's pretty cool. Reading through it, I probably want to give it maybe about 3. Like I said, 3 out of 5. Nothing in these books yet has really grabbed me and say I want to see what's happened next issue. So next up will be Batman Superman issue 9. First Contact Part 3. So if the First Contact is when the Huntress and a Power Girl meets up with Superman and Batman, and it just pretty much talks through the conflict of it, and it kind of ends on a okay note. Fortunately, I think there's 4 parts of that maybe, and if the ending becomes, just goes, hey, you go to the next book, which is what's it called? World's Finest with Power Girl and the Huntress, issue 21 or something, 21, 22. So that is probably going to be First Contact Part 4, or either that, or it's going to be First Contact, the final part. So this one, like I said, about 3, maybe even 3 out of 5. I mean, like I said, I'm okay with the drawings. I'm not a big fan of it, but the story was pretty decent, and the action in there is pretty cool. So next up is probably out of all these books here, my favorite is of course the New 52 Secret Origins issue 1, and I'm pretty sure the Secret Origins is going to be just pretty much telling of the different heroes. Like in this one, there's Superman. They tell you how he became not Superman, but like how he got to Earth, and what he did and stuff like that, and he was found and all like that. So it's pretty much just retelling their origins, and it's pretty cool. There's I think 3 characters in here. There's Superman, Dick Grayson, which is the first Robin, or Nightwing, and then Supergirl. So those are the 3 in this book, and I'm pretty sure they're probably going to come out with more. And it's going to be 3 books like that too. So this one was probably one of my favorite ones. I just loved origin stories. Gotta love it. I'm giving this one a 4 out of 5. Next up is Flash issue 30. Freaking love the cover. And this one is kind of weird because, like I said, I'm not into Flash, not into the Teen Titans. I kind of just went in there, kind of just like, oh hey, maybe I'll pick this one up. This one, things happen like always in every comic book, and Flash has to make up for what happened, and he's using too much of his powers, and something happens to him. So this one, I want to give it maybe a like 2 out of 5. It really didn't grip me as much as I thought it would be. Maybe I should start out with some other Flash comic books. If you guys have any, suggestions, I would like to hear some suggestions for Flash. Like I said, it's probably not a great jumping off point for me. So I'll wait and see. If I get some comments for that, some suggestions for that. Maybe I'll just go look online and see what I can find and read up on that. Next up will be Justice League United issue 0. So and it started out pretty decent. Quite like it. Things happen. I keep saying things happen. I don't like saying that, but it's just because I don't want to spoil anything for if you want to read it. With Martian Manhunter here, you have is that Arrow, Green Arrow, Supergirl, Stargirl, and these characters. I don't Animal Man, of course, and a few of these other characters I'm not really into, so I wouldn't know. But things come invaded them, the aliens, and they have to kind of fight them off. So I didn't really like it too much. I couldn't really. I don't know. I just felt like it was kind of just going on and on and on. I really didn't like it too much. Might not pick it up anymore. But we'll see what happens. Giving it probably a 2 out of 5. I really did. Like I said, I just didn't like this one as much. Next up will be Red Lanterns, issue 30. A pretty cool cover here and it's awesome. This one picks up just like from the last one. They all pretty cool. And as you can remember, Bleeds gets pretty much messed up by Atrocitus, and it kind of just goes in from there. And you learn a little bit more about Atrocitus, what he's doing, because Bleeds finally wakes up, and it's a quick little, just a lot of talking. There's not much action going on. So right now the Lanterns are planning to fight against Atrocitus because he's making new rings and he's sending them out. And that's the reason why Kara gets a ring. So for this one, as of course, I'm a big fan of this one just because the Supergirl's in there, and she's kick-ass pretty much. She's just awesome as a Red Lantern. 4 out of 5. I really enjoy reading. I literally. I want to kind of just read, keep on going, and see until they see Atrocitus and they fight him. That would be pretty cool. So next up will be Iron Patriots, issue 2. Just like before, I think this is pretty much a disappointment to me. Just not a big fan of it. They're just, I don't know, maybe just an Iron Man thing. I'm not a big fan of Iron Man. I was hoping, maybe they should release a new Iron Man book, or maybe I get into it. But with Iron Patriot, I just couldn't really get into it. I thought it was a little boring, a little. I don't know. There's not much of what the main character does in this. I don't remember his name at all. There's not much what he does in this book as yet. The first 2 one. So I won't be picking it up. I'm giving it a 1 out of 5 just because I just couldn't really get into it. But this is probably going to be the last book I pick up for Iron Patriot. Just couldn't get into it. I don't know why. Don't know why. Next up will be Fantastic Four, issue 3. Another pretty cool book. It follows, from issue 2. They sent almost like EMP bomb, and Mr. Fantastic does, and it destroys all the monsters and stuff like that. But it also wipes Johnny Storm's power, which is the Human Torch, and so they're, he's just kind of like, oh yeah, I'll just go along with it. Eventually you guys will find what's going on, and I'll get my powers back. So that's pretty much just Johnny Storm being pretty just mellow about it, and the Thing, and everybody's like kind of the Thing mostly. He's like, oh man, this kind of sucks because we all work together and stuff like that, and it just sucks to see his power. Things like that go. And it's a pretty cool episode. You get to see, it's like Namor, which is the Aquaman type character from Marvel. And you see, some pretty cool, scenes in here. So just reading through it, I'd probably give it about 3 out of 5. Next up, unfortunately I can't rate this one because I haven't read through it yet. I'm going to probably do it maybe after this video here, maybe in a few days here. It is the Transformers Robots in Disguise, issue 28. There with freaking awesome Optimus Prime in the front there. Like I said, I haven't read through it, so I can't really give her a good rate or a rating for it. So this is not fair if I haven't read through it. But next up will be Elektra issue 1. I just have to say it. this is probably some of the best artwork I've seen so far in all these comics that I've read through. The story is a little, it's not really there, but you just learn a little bit about, of Elektra and who she is, assassin of course, and then you get a mission. She starts, and it just ends there. But the artwork for it is fantastic. I love it. Gotta give props to, I don't even know who the Del Mundo is, probably the artist, but freaking A, this is freaking awesome artwork. So far, I'm definitely gonna pick up issue 2 when it comes out. Hopefully, we see more of that artwork, and hopefully, the story picks up a bit. So, in this one, I'm giving it a 3 out of 5. Next up is Superman issue 30. There's a lot of 30s in here. DC seems to hit the mark with a lot of 30s, and they're just coming out in waves. This one is the prelude to Doomed. So this is Superman issue 30. Let me say, just a little disappointing. So I guess I'm just really looking forward to seeing Superman Doomed. You get a little bit of Doomsday in this one. You get it's just. And you get a little bit of background on Superman again. They kind of just try to freshen that up into your your head and see Superman and stuff like that. I really just couldn't. It was a little boring, like I say. Like I said, pretty much as a prelude to the to Doom. So I'm hopefully they pull all the stops for that, and they just knock it out of the park. But for this one, I'm probably giving it and it sucks. I would like to give it a higher rating because I'm a big Superman fan, but I want to say maybe a 2 out of 5. I just couldn't really get into it. Superman comes back to Smallville because things are happening there, and he fights against a villain, and then it just ends there, and it just sucks. I would like to see a little bit more, but like I said, hopefully they do make it with the next Superman issue 31 or whatever they're going into. Hopefully we get to see more of that or more of Doomsday, and hopefully they just knock it out of the park with that. Like I said, next up will be it's almost done here. Original Sin issue 0. This is actually moving towards the Original Sin. I have no idea what the Original Sin is, so I haven't read anything about it like that. So I really just kind of want to go in there not knowing anything. That's always what I like to do. And now, I used to be able to, for video games, I used to like to read everything about the video game. Now I'm just I like to go in there and just soak in all what I know, or what they give me. So in this one, I guess the Watcher, not the Watchman. You learn a little bit about the Watcher. You learn Nova is actually the character in here, and you see how he started as Nova. And he's just asking questions like, who is the Watcher? What does he do? He doesn't talk and stuff like that. And then you learn a little bit more about him, and it just ends there. So it's an okay read. It's a pretty cool read. It's not really much action going on. You do get to see the appearance of the Avengers, which is pretty cool. But other than that, it was a good read. Giving it about a 3 out of 5. Next up will be Daredevil issue 2. Oh man, I read this book maybe right after I bought the comic, and I don't really remember much about it. Oh yeah, okay, there we go. It's coming back to me. Daredevil issue 2. So in this one, you learn more about Daredevil himself, and then you get a pretty cool villain in there. I have no idea. I really don't know much about Daredevil or his the villains that are in his book. This one is they show off a villain with he has kind of like the same powers as Daredevil does, and he lures Daredevil and kind of just traps him in there. So and hopefully on the next issue we get to see a little more of what he has planned for Daredevil. So but like I say, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool powers. The artwork is okay, I guess. I want to probably give it maybe either I want to say about 3 out of 5. I thought it was better than Superman, which I'm a little disappointed, but it happens. Next up will be, and I don't really know why I keep buying this, but at least this one was pretty cool. Batman Eternal, issue 3. I did enjoy. Maybe I just have to kind of soak it in more. I read it, a few times to see, get into the story. Like a lot of people say, there's just a lot of, things going on. Some people, it's just very just all over the place, and there's so many things going on that it's moving kind of fast because there's. Batman has to go here and he has to go here and he goes go here, but reading it, sitting down and just kind of reading it slowly, it gets a little bit better. But you get to see appearance of Penguin in here, see these I shouldn't say super villains, but villains kind of like planning out what they're doing, and something happens, and you get a lot more dialogue from Commissioner Gordon, not anymore, I guess Jim Gordon, but he's in jail, and it gets better as you read it. So I'm probably giving this one a 3 out of 5. So that is it for the new pickups, but it is not over. I always have some more, as of course I kind of just buy in increments. I'll put these on to the side here, and next up will be some of the back issue stuff and some of the more recent stuff. Recent books that I got, but like in the past weeks here. First up is Deadly Class. This is actually a second printing. I should have read this first, but it's a second printing, which sucks. I'm more into the first printing, unless it's like a rare book that I can't find, and I just have to kind of go with the second printing, or third, or fourth, or fifth, or whatever printing it has. Next up will be Batman Beyond Universe 1. You gotta say, I gotta love this cover. X-Men issue 7. And I was reading this on comic book resource, and they're like some of the cool team ups with Spider-Man and the X-Men. This is one of them, and this is where they're looking for what's his name again? The Lizard guy. Oh my gosh, Lizard. I am very just. It's a late night, and I'm just trying to get through this. Next up would be Batman Beyond Unlimited 7. I only bought this because of the cool cover. World's Finest. That is an awesome cover. It has a little bend on it because the comic book I go to, they put it in like these shelves, and this is the first one. And it was like kind of like a shelf that didn't have too much comics in there, so it was kind of leaning in the front there, and it kind of has a little bend in the middle, but that's okay. Extra Comics issue 3. We'll just fly through these. Superboy issue 30. That's the only character. That's only out of the Superman family. That's really the only character I really am not super into. And so I'm just trying to get into Superboy, just trying to get some of his comics and trying to read them and trying to familiarize myself with Superboy. But we'll see how that goes. Superman issue 328. Those are cheap ones, like 90 cents or something. And it's plus what did I say? The most offbeat Superman story of the year. So maybe that's why it's only 95 cents. Next up would be Superman issue 496. Superman issue 338. Superman issue 268 for appearance of Batgirl. And Superman issue 279, another appearance of Batgirl. No, don't save me, Superman. Save Metropolis. That's what Batgirl says on there. DC Comics presents Superman and Superboy. So this is really the first appearance of Superboy Prime, which I was trying to get into, trying to get all the other comics that comes with Superboy Prime. So that's the first appearance of him. Farius issue 3, and this is probably one of the books I want to get signed. I just like the cover for it. I do have issue 1 coming, and I don't know. We'll see what happens. I do want to get this signed by, I think, Adam Hughes. So we'll see what happens. I really do have issue Power Girl issue 1 that I want to get it signed by him. Definitely, but I don't know if I'm still juggling between Catwoman issue 40, 45, 46, which is a pretty awesome cover, and maybe with Furious issue 1 or 3 or whatever. So we'll see what happens. Superior Spider-Man issue 18. Batwoman issue 30. This was from, well, like what, last week? Deadly Class issue 1. This is actually the 3rd printing. Like I said, I wish I would have read. I just don't like how they put it on the bottom so little that it's you barely can see it. Translucid issue 1 of 6. X-Men, the Kenny X-Men issue, where does it say it? Issue 394. On Kenny X-Men issue 393, which is a little. The first one was a little harder to read. All these comics are falling. Next up will be the Uncanny X-Men issue 487. And of course I had to get this cover. Uncanny X-Men versus X-23 anyways. 451. Awesome cover. The Uncanny X-Men 508. And oh, it keeps going. The Uncanny X-Men issue 509 with pretty cool Psylocke cover. That is pretty beast looking. Uncanny X-Men, and these came in a bundle. So issue 396. They were cheap too, so I'm like, oh, it came with the 2 books that I wanted anyways, which is the Psylocke cover and the book with the Psylocke cover and the X-23 one. And I'm like, if it came with it, might as well just get it. Okay. Uncanny X-Men. Is this? Yeah, Uncanny X-Men. Issue 401. And next up will be Power Girl issue 1. This is her first. Is it her first single or solo issue? Power Girl issue 2. Power Girl issue 3. And I do have all of them. I mean, of course, it's only 4 issues. So, Power Girl issue 4. And then last, but not least, save the best for last, I guess. All-Star Comics presents Super Squad. It's issue 58. This is actually the first appearance of Power Girl. So I had to get it because I'm a big fan of Power Girl. Of course, as you know. Then next up will be some trade paperback. The first one up is called Sex. Adult readers only. This is actually about a hero who has retired. Or trying to get away from that hero life. Next up will be Sex Criminals, Volume 1. Oh, this one's... Sex is the first volume, too. Sex Criminals, Volume 1. Which I heard a lot of good things about. And, of course, I don't really think I will be able to get the first one. The first one is pretty expensive. Or, actually, it's not too bad, but... you know, like I said, I just want to go through it. I got this off of InStockTrades.com, which is pretty cheap. Like, they're usually... this was about $9 from... you know, regular $9, but it's like $4. Plus, of course, you have to pay for shipping. But I usually buy, 2 books anyways. So I'm really just paying. This one was $9. I think this one's sex was $9 too. So I guess it kind of just rounds about the same. But but anyways, actually I got one more thing before I head out. I bought a pretty cool artwork that looks pretty cool. I'm pretty excited to put it up on the wall. This one's pretty cool. I don't know if you guys can see the whole thing here. I'll push it back here a bit. Yeah, of course, Superman and Supergirl fighting against Doomsday. So this is a pretty cool artwork. I bought it from a artist from Etsy. It's just a print too, so kind of want to hang it up somewhere. But I'm just excited for it. I might have to buy some more from him. So and it's pretty awesome. So he got a lot of different artworks for, like, he had a Dragon Ball Z one, which I wanted to get. He had a Green Ranger, I think a Green Ranger one too. That I probably wanted to get from my brother. And then he has some other pretty cool one, like Sinister Six against Spider-Man, which looked freaking awesome. I might have to go buy that one next. So, but anyways, that is the comic book pickups of the week. It's kind of getting long here, 30 minutes already. So, like I always say, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. If you guys like my videos, go ahead and thumbs it up too. So, if you guys have any questions about anything, go ahead and leave it on the comments, not comics. But as always, if you guys know any really good comics, that you guys like to read, that I might like, or even just put it down and I'll check it out. I'm pretty excited to just start reading different books. It took me forever to read through all the books that I had. I haven't read through any of the back issues yet. I only read through a lot of the newer ones today, and the Sex Criminals, I read through that one too. So, leave down in the comments. I would like to hear some suggestions from other people. But anyways, I'll see everybody next week.